Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, what's up there? Chris is back from the dead. You're like Jesus, dude. You came back.
Well, Easter was just a few weeks ago. I just, if you look at the scripture,
Yeah.
I resurrected like 2 weeks later.
Oh, so you were right on time.
I'm a holy man.
You are a holy man. I've always known that.
And I'm in a holy mood these days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I've been following the Pope stuff.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. We got a pope.
Yeah, we got an American Pope.
We got an American pope. I mean, who cares? But yeah.
Well, I do.
upset
You
about
know, I grew up Catholic and all that stuff. None of that matters.
Yeah.
But I've actually was interested in actually what the process was of electing a pope.
Yeah.
It's really fucking fascinating. Because you don't go in there. Those cardinals don't go in there with a ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, here's who's running.
Did they go in there with like a sword?
No. They go in there
They
blank.
should.
And they basically give every single cardinal in there a ballot. And they say, okay, who do you want to vote for?
Okay.
Okay. Then they turn them all in. And it's actually funny because when they fill them out, they're supposed to disguise their handwriting. So nobody knows who wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
They put them into this box. Somebody comes along and reads them all, writes down all the names of the people that are basically getting nominated.
Yeah.
Then they take the top amount of those and go from there. So it's like you're not going in there saying, hey, vote for me for Pope. You know, It's nothing like that at all.
Well, is the Pope in there?
He's in there. He's a cardinal.
I mean, yeah, okay. He's one of the voters. You think the Pope voted for the Pope this year?
The people that know him say he didn't vote for himself.
Can you vote for yourself?
Yeah, because it's a totally anonymous thing.
Shouldn't be allowed voting for yourself.
You change your name, and then, like I said, as soon as the first round's over, they say, okay, the first round's over. They take all the ballots, and they fucking burn them.
Okay, we're changing some rules here.
Okay.
You don't got Catholics, like normal, you just can't stay up with the times. But so here's what we're going to do. First off, if you nominate this is a new rule. This is a new rule. I have fucking, if you give me some stone, I'll put it in some stone and make you goofy tards. Believe me.
All right.
If you vote for yourself as Pope, it's fine. You're allowed voting for yourself, like you said. But if no one else voted for you, you're gone. All right, you're no longer a cardinal. If you are the only person in the whole group that believes you should be the Pope, you're probably an asshole. All right, so you're gone. This guy's not a good person. We need him out of the fucking, what do they call it? The
the papacy?
Whatever the fuck they call that shit, you nerds. Weird cult people. But anyways, yeah.
But I mean,
he's out. I like that rule.
It's just a really
Do you
fascinating
like this rule?
thing.
Do you think this rule?
I like the rule.
I think the rule makes sense.
But it
Thou shalt and
it
shit.
defeats everything. Because I just thought it was so fucking interesting that they tell these cardinals, change your handwriting. We don't want to know who did this. We don't want to know who voted for whoever.
I can't change my
But it goes,
handwriting.
okay, we got 80 guys in the first one. Then we say, okay, here's the 80. Narrow it down.
It's like Survivor.
Yeah.
You kick
And
him
then
off the fucking island.
2/3. Okay, we got one. Hey, this is the guy. And nobody fucking knows who it is, including all of those guys, until it's finally over. And then they stand up at the end of this thing and say, hey, all you 130 guys standing out there, we got a Pope, and it's you.
Man, that must feel good.
Well, I don't think they look at it that way. No, I really don't.
Come on.
Dude.
They've been like staying away from pussy for fucking 60 years at this point. You don't think they're looking at, like this isn't the goal? They didn't just reach the fucking goal?
I think they're looking at it as my whole life now is in the spotlight. I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm in a different prayer fucking group every day.
I think they're grabbing that big Pope hat and corralling it like Michael Jordan when he won the trophy, just sitting on the ground crying and kissing it and shit.
He's still never worn the big Pope hat. He wears the little yarmulke looking thing.
We got a Jew?
No, he's not Jewish. They wear this thing that looks like a yarmulke.
Well, we copying?
No.
We're not we. I'm not one.
They wear both for different occasions. I don't know. But either way, American Pope, USA.
I didn't like it. I don't like an American Pope. I think
you want them all to be Italian? You think the Italians own the Catholic religion?
No,
Pope Francis wasn't
I was
Italian.
rooting for the black or the Asian. I wanted a non-white.
I thought originally going into this, I thought the Asian was a runaway.
Yeah, I thought the Asian the Asian I was rooting for the black more than the Asian. Here's why.
The Asian black didn't have a chance. They said he was too far one way. This guy that they elected is right down the middle, just like the Filipino guy. He was a hardcore liberal, and he wouldn't have gotten the votes from the conservative side of it. Yeah. This guy that won is right down the fucking middle.
Yeah, but that guy was ripping on Vance like the week before he got elected.
And Trump.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know about down the middle, but you can be down the middle and still rip on those guys.
Well, he was ripping on them about deportation issues and things like that.
Jesus wouldn't have deported. That's basically the model.
Yeah. I mean, but what I'm saying is this guy is like, okay, it's like some of the things they talk about are we going to bless same-sex marriages, all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to bless same-sex marriages, but I'm not going to let women become bishops. He's literally down the middle. But the guy that they were talking about, some of the hardcore conservative side, the Catholic religion would have looked like it looked 100 years ago, man.
They say that Jesus, accepted all and everything, but I question how many different kinds of people he was around. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about pre-travel ages. You really just knew the people in your town. I knew when I grew up in Amelia, there was like two black kids.
That's why he roamed the earth.
Yeah, he didn't roam that far on the earth. Even the earth was just that little ass part.
It went from Israel to fucking Rome.
That's still not a big chunk of the earth. We're talking about less than fucking 10% of the earth, you're saying.
They had no cars.
All crackers. That's all I'm saying. There was all crackers. He never went deep into Africa where the blacks were, even though people will argue that Egyptians are black or whatever. But you know what I mean. He never really met an Asian. Well, you don't know what he thinks about Asians. And Jesus definitely never met a Mexican. So for him to be
Jesus was brown, though. What do you think? He's from Israel,
yeah,
man.
But what do you think he would have those M13s? Do you think Jesus did those M13s? I don't think so, man. I think
they were invented then.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If Jesus had to deal with the same shit that Tex down there does at his barbecue down in Arizona, then maybe he'd feel different about immigration. Jesus's immigration policy was never really tested. That's what I'm saying. All right. Until you can get that fellow in a room full of Mexicans, you can't tell me what he would think about immigration. I think he would be for it. Or against it, or something. I don't know. I'm making a dumb argument for no reason.
Jesus was an immigrant. He went from Israel
I'm for immigrants. Me and you differ on this. I say bring them all over.
I'm for legal immigrants.
That don't exist.
Yes, it does.
For whites.
No,
we've looked into this. You can't legally come here from Mexico. They're just not taking you.
From Mexico,
That's what I mean. There's certain countries.
Actually, you can.
How?
I see it all the time.
Marriages and shit.
No, I see all those fucking cop shows about smuggling at the border.
Yeah.
And there's a shit ton of Mexicans that live in Mexico that work in the United States. They drive across every day, go to work, and come back.
Yeah, but they got to go back, right?
Yeah, they got to go back. And they have to have a work visa. Yeah. That's what makes them legal.
Yeah, but they're not living here, though.
Well, no, that's what half of them do. They come over, I got a job in San Antonio, and then I decide I want to go to Ohio for a while.
Well, it's fine, but at that point now they're illegal. That's what I'm saying is like I don't think there's a legal way for a lot of these people to get in there. The only legal people that can come anymore are like smart Indians, smart Asians, and every once in a while some white. Like Trump just made a big deal of taking 52 South Africans. They're all white.
And deported them?
No, brought them here.
Why did he bring them here?
Because he's taking those kind of people. He just wants the other ones out of here. I mean, it's fucking funny.
Well, I don't remember the last time, and this, don't take it for what it sounds like.
Okay.
I don't remember the last time that like an MS-13 style gang was formed in South Africa.
No. I know.
You know what I'm saying? The South American countries, they have some shitheads coming here. They have some fucking shitheads.
Dude, these people, some of the people that came over from South Africa during that were all the apartheid people that were mad that they couldn't have their slaves anymore. They weren't good people. They just had a lot of money.
You know what? Ever since that fucking shit happened in South Africa, because I watched a documentary on it, man, it's just not safe there. You walk down the street and they will walk up to you in broad daylight with 1 million people around, stick a knife in your wrist
That's
and
true,
fucking
but
rob
I mean,
you.
with that being said, that can happen to you in Memphis. If you want to show the bad parts of anywhere, you're going to see bad shit.
True.
You know what I mean? Just the houses around them might not be as bad. Instead of a shack, it's Section 8 apartments. There was a
guy that did a fucking experiment on this documentary. He took $1,000 American and he went on a week-long vacation to South Africa. And he came back with like $400.
Yeah,
the nicest hotel in the fucking city
great.
was like $30 American.
Yeah, if you're willing to take the chance of being kidnapped and held for ransom,
I've never heard of anything.
You can have a great time.
What's touristy in South Africa?
That's beautiful.
Well, yeah, but I've never heard anybody say,
it's right on the
hey,
ocean.
you want to go to Paris or Johannesburg?
No, well, I think that's an experience because I think you go to Johannesburg and then you can drive an hour and you can go to a couple safe safaris, not like the ones that are in the middle of Africa where you got to have the Bushmen fucking go with you so you don't get murdered. But you know,
I like those safaris where because you see them on reels all the time where there's like those Ace Ventura looking vehicles and they're driving around and there's a family sitting there and all of a sudden you see a fucking lion mauling a fucking deer.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
They're taking pictures of it. Yeah.
That'd be awesome though.
But the lion doesn't turn on the people.
No, he's used to them.
He's used to them.
Well, he knows they're going to outrun him.
Yeah, he got a car. But, I mean, it's like, okay, this lion's killing his own young, and then he's going after that deer. Take pictures, everybody. And they're all taking pictures of this fucking deer going, well, it gets his head eaten. You know what I mean?
Those are the worst sounds, too. I get, that's my algorithm, because I'm a fucking psycho, I guess. That's in my algorithm on Instagram and Facebook if I go through those shorts. It's just animals killing things. And then listening to them go, Arr! Those fucking wildebeest are out there just getting eaten.
You hear the tour guide going, it's the circle of life.
It's the circle of life, mate.
It's survival of the fittest. But I was watching this funny thing. This friend of mine sent me this fucking group of reels. It was like 10 reels about Komodo dragons. These big giant fucking lizards.
Yeah.
Eating like goats normally. Apparently there's a lot of goats over there too.
Yeah. Well, and all they do is bite them once, and then the fucking thing dies.
They swallow them whole.
Well, no, that's first they just get their saliva like kills things. It's like the most bacteria ever, and they just get a little nibble of it, and the thing will die pretty much quickly, and then they do swallow them.
Well, yeah, they walk up, they clamp down on them, and then they inhale them, and they're like you can see that they're still alive when they're going in.
Yeah, but they're out of it.
But the funniest part is, and it's like my buddy said, why don't you see a goat standing there? A little fucking goat is just standing there eating.
Yeah,
turns around, there's a Komodo dragon coming, but he doesn't run away. He just stands there and waits to get eaten.
The goat?
Yeah, they don't fucking run away.
Maybe the goats are dumb over there.
That's what I'm thinking. Are fucking goats dumb? Or even like they'll have like a baby deer standing there. Hey, big mean dragon coming. I'm just gonna stand here.
Isn't it weird too that those things are only on one island?
Yeah,
like that's the only place they exist.
Yeah,
I think
and it's
someone would have got. You think it'd be like pythons in Florida.
Yeah,
next thing you know, some asshole would have got one
and brought them over
and
here,
then let them loose when it killed their cat. And then next thing you know, there's fucking 24 Komodo dragons
like the
down there.
Pigs and stuff.
I just don't know how that didn't happen. It happens with everything else.
My question is, why do these fucking animals just stand there and wait to get eaten?
I don't know. Maybe they respect the circle of life. I don't know.
It's like, hey, I'm going to stand here. I know I'm going to take one more bite of this grass before I get fucking
Maybe
swallowed.
It just sucks to be a goat in fucking Komodo Islands or whatever the hell they're called.
Was it Galapagos Islands?
That's what it is, I think. I want to go to Galapagos.
Do you?
I know.
You'd get eaten. Some of these things are big enough to eat you, I think.
Oh, well, all of them are, I imagine. Or I don't know about all of them. I'd fuck up a small Komodo dragon.
You think? A baby?
I'd fuck up a baby Komodo. Dude, just bring it on.
So, what's new in the world?
Everybody's arguing about fighting a gorilla. We got that American Pope. I don't think there's anything else new in the world, really.
Well, let's just segue into, are the Bengals going to sign Tre Hendrickson?
Oh, that was going to be part of my fuck you. We'd already even discussed that. Yeah.
Oh, we'll skip that.
We literally discussed it right before the pod. You were so...
Well, here's another thing. T. Higgins just signed this monster contract.
He did.
He didn't show up at camp.
Well, it's not camp.
Well, it's still something that's expected for you to be here. These drills. He showed up on the first day. Second day, he said, "No, I'm not going."
Well, Burrow didn't show up the first day.
We just gave you the fucking money, dude.
Burrow didn't show up the first day. He went to the Met Gala and dressed like a queer.
He did. I'm telling you, Burrow's turning into. I love Burrow. He's my quarterback. He's dressing like Cam Newton these days. He looks like it's not him.
Burrow's modern Brady. Brady was like that kind of, he was dating the models. He was, he would dress just in the nice suits. Now, modern fashion is that stupid shit, though. Yeah, in the day, Brady was in with the fashion, but nowadays the fashion's completely changed. Now you look goofy. He's not as bad as some of them. Did you see Justin Jefferson's outfit?
No.
Oh my God, dude, he looked like Aladdin. It was the fluffiest, stupid outfit you've ever seen.
At the Met Gala?
Yeah, he looked like he should have been walking down the streets of Persia. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I gotta look it up now. I don't even know what the fucking Met Gala is.
I think it's just a fashion show or something like that. It's at a museum.
It's like, hey, everybody, look at me.
And it became, over the years, that, where all the celebrities went there and dressed goofy. Like Andre 3000's outfit was just... had like a black outfit with a giant piano on his back. He just had a piano on his back. That's it. Like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't.
You know who started all this was Jaden Smith with the castle on his head.
He would have fit in at that Met Gala.
Except he's not famous.
There was quite a few people that looked just as stupid as Jaden Smith. Yeah, he's famous. He's more famous than me. I bet you Jaden Smith starts a podcast tomorrow. He gets more listens than I do.
Well, yeah, because all the Scientologists would listen.
Yeah, as they should. He's speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth.
He's speaking. It's all truth. Reds aren't playing well right now. But the nice thing about it is, I was looking at tickets because I wanted to take my kid to a Reds game.
That's the great thing about the Reds playing bad.
$12 right on the dugout, man.
You can get some sweet ass tickets.
I mean, your feet are sitting on the dugout,
especially if you wait until the last second and do those kind of games. Like, yeah,
especially if they play a shit team like Chicago, they're playing right now. Mm-hmm. Man, you could literally sit on top of the dugout.
White Sox, not
free beer,
not Cubs, because Cubs come to town. All of a sudden, the game's sold out.
Yeah, those Chicago people travel, but not
they travel, and they're just like they're in every city too.
Yeah, and they're leading the division.
Chicago, the Cubs are like that team that dorks like that don't really follow sports per se, but just want to pick a team. You know, they pick the Cubs for some reason. I don't get it.
Hey, I got a really, really funny message.
Oh,
from one. You remember that I showed you the pictures of that chick that wanted me to
with writing her all over herself and stuff. Yeah, old sloppy hand.
So I decided it wasn't for me, and I sent them a nice message that said, "Hey, you guys seem really cool, but I've just kind of decided that it's just too far away."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was trying to be nice about it. I don't want to say, I just don't like the rolls on your wife's belly, or whatever. It's just too far away. So I get a message back. Well, it wasn't far away before when we were talking. I said, well, we were just talking. Mm-hmm. It was kind of far away. It's a 2-hour drive for me.
You could.
So am I going to drive there 2 hours, for 45 minutes, and then drive 2 hours back? I said, it's really not worth my time.
5-hour round trip for your ugly wife?
Yeah, it's not worth my fucking time. So I get a message back from her that's disappointing. 2 days later, I get a message from him. Hey, fucker, we've decided that you are not the fucking guy for us after all. We need a fucking man, and apparently you ain't man enough to handle this. It's the message I got. And I typed back, not man enough? Does a real man drive 5 hours? Is that what makes me a man?
They get fucked?
No, we've just decided that you are not, what do you say, macho enough to handle this kind of action.
Dude, you're getting someone to fuck your wife.
I know. That's it. Treat her bad.
You are the epitome of a fucking...
I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. It was nice talking to you.
Sorry you feel that way.
Nice talking to you.
You look like you're responding to a Yelp review.
And then she messaged me back, I'm not as angry as him, but I'm very disappointed in you. I want you to know that.
Disappointed? Was she your mom?
I'm like, this is an ad in the come fuck me website. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying no thanks. Yeah. But yeah, he shit all over me. You're not man enough to handle this kind of heat. Heat is what he said.
Man, well, I guess you're not.
I said, thanks for the pictures. That's what I said.
Thanks for the pictures. I'm going to erase them off my phone.
I don't know. People on these fuck sites are getting crazier. I'm getting weird fucking messages, dude.
I don't know what you expect.
They're getting weirder.
Yeah, I mean,
if there's possible.
Again, I don't know what you expect.
I think I'm just sticking to the 5 I got.
Yeah.
Because the new ones that are coming at me,
they're starting to scare you.
They're not scare me, but freak me out. You know, I mean, one guy fucking sent me a message asking me to take his wife on a weekend getaway.
To where?
I don't know. He just said, why don't you pick up my wife some Friday and take her for the weekend somewhere and just fuck her all weekend. And I'm like,
are you paying? What the fuck?
Either way, I don't want to do it.
Well, maybe. I mean, you gotta see the wife, don't you?
Yeah, but after the fucking, guess what? What do you want to do now?
Separate apartments, or you get different hotel rooms.
But the whole point is, how fucking
negotiate,
weird do you take my wife out for the weekend?
That's weird.
Hey, listen, I was just wondering if your wife wants to go down to the gorge and get a cabin.
The gorge.
Tell your wife she's in charge of food.
Yeah, do we gotta go hiking afterwards? Like, what is
going on?
Tell her
to bring the polenta. That's what I'm saying. It's like, do you expect me to fuck for 48 hours? Because it's not going to happen. No. I'll give her a good hour, and then I need an hour rest or a couple hours rest. But even then, it's going to get boring in the first day.
Hang out with you.
I don't want to hang out with her. I want her to come over, bang me, and leave.
That's weird. Yeah. I mean, that's always weird. But take you on the week, and there was no negotiating though. I guess you didn't respond because I would at least ask who's paying. Where am I going?
No, I just put no thanks.
I would have. My question would have been, Who's paying and where am I going? Because if he tells me like Paris and I'm paying, okay.
Oh no, he said pick her up on a Friday and just take her out for the
Take her to the airport. You pay for my flight to Paris. We fucking her to the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, we get on a flight to Paris Friday. We get there Saturday at midnight, and then I'll have to be back on Monday.
That's how the professor travels.
But the whole point is, it's like, this guy doesn't fucking know who I am.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now, see,
take your wife for a week.
But see, like I said, with the ones I've hooked up with, at least, there's dialogue for a couple of weeks and maybe a beer somewhere. You know, this guy talked to me for 10 minutes.
Maybe he don't like his wife and he's trying to get her out for the weekend.
Or maybe he's hoping I'm a fucking murderer.
Well, yeah, either hoping you're a murderer or he has weekend plans with another girl. You gotta get her away.
No, dick don't work.
Well, you don't know that.
He told me.
He says that. That's how he leads?
No, his lead...
Hello, sir, my dick don't work. Will you take my wife out?
His lead was, she needs a lot more than I can provide her. So I'm assuming dick don't work.
Or he's just got a 3-incher.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He just says she's got a very healthy sex life and I can't provide her what she needs. But after 10 minutes of talking and exchanging pictures, and she was attractive, but I'm like, no, I don't want to go out of town with her for the weekend.
She wasn't out of town attractive?
I want to drive over there, fuck her,
show me a picture of this
get
girl.
in my car, and leave.
You got a picture?
I think I do.
Yeah, I need to see a picture to judge.
But I'm like,
go on a weekend tour.
I don't care if she was like really hot. I don't want to go out with her for the weekend. What, you want to play golf after we're done? I don't want to fucking sit there. You want to watch? What do we want to watch on TV? You know what I mean? Flip the TV on.
The Pacers are in the conference finals.
Yeah,
you
let's watch a Juggalo video.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd rather fuck. Well, that's great, but we just got done. And I don't have it in me in this particular moment to just go again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll fuck you several times a day.
Mm-hmm.
But in between, what are we going to do?
I don't know.
Hey, go out to the well and get some water. You know, I'll make the macaroni. What the fuck am I going to do with this
chill.
fucking girl?
Just watch TV.
I don't want to chill. I don't want to watch TV with somebody that I don't fucking know.
I don't want to chill.
I mean, you know, if you were to say, hey,
you're on vacation, dude. You get to do vacation
I want you to
things.
pick her up for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Then it would be cool.
Yeah.
We fuck. We got the TV on. Hey, head, suck my dick, whatever, eat my butt, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can stretch it to 8 hours. But a weekend, no. Because at that weekend point, there's got to be like some food involved.
Oh, yeah, you're going
There's
out to dinner.
Other activity.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I don't want to go out to breakfast. I don't want to cook you fucking breakfast.
No, why would you do any of that stuff? This is on the house. You got to make sure it's on the house for one thing. None of this is worth it but think about it. You're living the gigolo lifestyle if they pay for everything, outside of some extra money going in your pocket on the outside of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just you're not getting paid, but you're living the gigolo. You get a free, weekend out somewhere, especially if it's somewhere cool.
I think what was on his mind is
you don't mean take her out the weekend in Cincinnati, does he? For a whole weekend?
That's what I think.
And like just like a days in.
He just said take her for the weekend and have fun.
What if it is that? It's just like a Days Inn, one of those just like small hotel
I got
rooms.
you guys a room at the Red Roof Inn in Florence.
Yeah.
I want you to go there and just fuck.
It's just
No, I don't
you
want
with a bunch
to.
of fucking immigrants in all the rooms next to it. The couple fucking people that are hiding from the wall.
And then I hear a knock on the door.
Yeah.
Hey, are you going to fuck her again? Let us know when you're going to fuck her
Yeah,
again.
because the walls are paper.
And they all got their ears pressed up with a fucking glass. Tell her to eat your butt again.
Tell her to eat your butt again.
You need some help?
Yeah.
You need some help over there?
Oh shit! Speaking of eating butt, dude, this isn't. Well, yeah. Have you seen the new Tom Segura show on
Netflix?
on Netflix called
No.
Bad Thoughts? I haven't watched it all yet. I've only watched 2 episodes, but there is some good shit in it. And there's a scene of
Love Segura.
yeah, there's like a fake movie of this guy coming over from Italy and getting hired on as like a cleaner at a nursing home or whatever. And next thing you know, he's like making all the old people all happy and stuff. And then it shows it behind the scene, this old lady just munching his asshole. And and that's apparently the secret. Is he's like, I guess like giving hand jobs to the old guys and like,
Was it Segura getting his butt eaten?
yes, all dude. And it's hilarious. Like there's some hits and misses on that show, but that particular scene was fucking great. I died, and I probably ruined it for most people that are watching it because
He was eating it.
he just has him open the door, and he's on his back with his legs spread, and this lady just going to town on his asshole.
I would love that.
That was funny. And like I said, there's some good ones and there's some bad ones in that show, but I do recommend Bad Thoughts. I think Segura's kind of fallen off the map recently. His recent stand-ups isn't as good and stuff. I think, he got rich. He's kind of changed and he's got older. Some people don't only go through like 4 or 5 years.
This comedian that's all over Facebook, his last name is Gale.
I don't think so.
Most of his humor is racial.
Yeah. Is he white or black?
White.
Okay.
He's fucking hilarious, this fucking guy.
Is he just stealing the Gary Owens crowd?
No, it's none of that at all.
Okay.
He's just fucking hilarious. His last name is Gale. He's got shaved head, little mustache.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's just fucking quick and sharp. And I'm waiting for him to start touring around somewhere. Because
there's a lot of crowd work guys get on Facebook. And
I don't think Matt Rife is funny.
Well, he's a crowd work guy, and he's just supposedly good looking. I think he looks funny.
He tells everybody how good looking he is.
Does he?
Oh yeah, he stands on stage and girls will hit on him. He goes, "I know, I look like this, and you look like that."
But I don't think he's that great looking, is he? Maybe I'm bad at judging
no,
dudes. He has a weird looking face.
Yeah,
I know he's supposedly,
but I just don't.
Shit.
He doesn't. I like the crowd work guys sometimes. But he doesn't really have an act.
I like Big J, and that's about it. He's in Cincinnati this weekend, but it's my anniversary weekend, so I can't go.
Well, when I saw Chappelle when he came back from Africa, he did all crowd work. He didn't have an act, and it was fucking hilarious.
Chappelle's been doing that for years, where he just sits on a stool and just talks. And sometimes it's crowd work, sometimes it's just talking about whatever today's events are and shit like that. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's just him talking.
His whole fucking hour was why he left and what he did when he was there.
In Africa.
Yeah. Either way, it was, I'll tell you what, I do want to fucking, one of these days, just fucking take a drive up to that Yellow Springs or wherever he lives. Mm-hmm. Just walk around the town, see if he's walking around.
You're just going to stalk Dave Chappelle?
No, I'm not going to stalk him.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't just walk around town.
He says he does.
Well, I'm sure if he needs like a graders or something.
I watched that interview with him and Letterman on that new Letterman show. The next guest is, and he goes, I just walk around here. People say, hey, how you doing, Dave? And walk by. I want to do that. I want to walk by him and say, how you doing, Dave?
That guy rolls with the crew everywhere he goes. I don't know if he does walk alone.
He says he does. He says this community, he said, people respect me for who I am. I respect them. He says, my wife and I come. We walk around. People say, hey, Dave. I say, hey, back. And they go about their way.
Yeah, well, Yellow Springs is a little hippie town in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It's a weird spot.
Just by Dayton, right?
It's like in between Dayton and Columbus, kind of, but a little bit south. It's not,
But doesn't he do live performances on his land?
He does like a couple shows a year. It's not his land. It's a park, like a public park they have there.
Okay.
And then he either built a comic club already or he's in the process of building an actual comedy club there.
Oh, really?
Then he'll practice sets and do stuff.
And he'll start getting other people there and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. And every time he does one of the local shows there in the parks, he always has huge names.
Chappelle.
Yeah, Chappelle. So almost anyone will come and do it, and he flies them in and shit.
Yeah, Chappelle calls you and says,
apparently
hey,
they stay out at his like ranch or whatever.
Well, I just want to walk down the street, see him, pass him, and go, how you doing, Dave?
Bet you'll be smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, but the whole point is I want to see if he's a liar, and he'll look back at me and say, how you doing, man?
What's the chances?
I don't know. He lives there.
I know he lives there, but I can go to Amelia and I know like 3 people there, and I could walk through that town probably 300 times and never see anyone I know still.
True, but Yellow Springs is a small town.
So is Amelia.
There is no more Amelia, is there?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. There's a small town.
All I'm saying is, it's not that far. If I'm driving somewhere, I may swing through there
and just walk up and down the street and look for Dave Chappelle.
No, not necessarily looking for him because it has to be an incognito thing. I walk down the street. If I see him walking towards me, I'm literally going to say, hi, Dave, and see if he says hi back. I'll walk on.
Nah, do one of his stupid things. Yeah, do one of those dumb ones that he probably gets all the time.
I'm Chris T's, bitch.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure he'd love it.
I bet he would.
Oh, he'd fucking absolutely love it.
I bet he would.
I see dead people.
Hey, I have a Hero.
Oh, a Hero.
Haven't had one in a long time.
No, I love a good Hero.
Yeah, so we need to get Hero because I've got one.
Oh, do you though?
I need a hero. Holding out for a hero. Till the morning light. He's got to be strong, and he's got to be fast, and he's got to be larger than life. I need a hero.
Okay, so as everybody knows, I drive Lyft and occasionally. Mm-hmm. I used to do it a lot more. I do it less now.
Doesn't pay as well anymore.
It doesn't pay as well anymore, and although our friend Jim, who used to work with. Yep. He just got a ride from here to Toledo $270.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah, that was his share. It's only a 3-hour drive.
I don't know.
So even the 6-hour... Jim Pope.
Oh, Pope. Does he not work there anymore?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, does
you
he?
used to work with him. You don't work there anymore.
No, Pope's one of those dudes too. When I stopped working there, he erased me as a Facebook friend.
Oh, really? But he took
Fuck you, Jim Pope.
He took an Uber ride to Toledo, and it was $270.
Yeah.
So even the 3-hour ride back, it's still like $47 an hour. I'm like, I don't get those. I might get an offer to Columbus.
Would you take it?
Well, yeah, I would, because I'd just
To Toledo?
drive 10 more minutes and go to the dispensary and buy some weed with my $270.
No, that's Akron.
It's 10 minutes. It's 15 minutes away.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But I don't know. I just feel like I ain't going to Toledo. Now you got to book a fucking 8-hour portion of your day, right?
6. But
6?
the whole thing is, like, if I go to an airport or whatever and somebody's going to Lexington, it's usually like $75.
Yeah.
That's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 2 hours back. So you're talking $75 in 4 hours. This was $270.
Lexington's not 2 hours away. It's an hour away.
Okay, let's say an hour.
An hour and
But the
20.
whole point is it's still not worth it,
Yeah, no,
because
it's not.
I've never seen one only 3 hours away for $270.
No.
But anyway, so I still drive to make a little extra money, but I also downloaded the Instacart app.
I've never done it.
And that one's cool because it doesn't pay as much, but you can see what the order is right off the bat. I only get the ones that are like 2 or 3 items, you know?
Yeah.
Ciara is my hero of the day.
Ciara.
So I'm sitting there, I just turn it on. I wait for, somebody who has tried to get this thing delivered. Nobody's delivering it, so they offer a big tip. Okay, this was a trip to Meyer, okay, which is a quarter mile from my house. And then she lives a quarter mile away from me up a hill. It's 10 minutes of my day. Mm-hmm. There's like 4 or 5 items, and one of them is maxi pads. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it was a $6 pay for you. She was tipping $11. So it was a $17, 15 minutes of my day. So I go there. The app is acting up, so I call Ciara on the phone, and I say, hey, Ciara, this thing's not giving me directions to your house. Will you give me directions? She goes, yeah, no problem. Gives me directions. I go to her house. She's standing outside waiting for me and hands me a $20 bill. I said, you tipped on the app. She goes, this is extra. I appreciate it. So I made $37 in 15 minutes, all because of Ciara. Now, I think maybe she tipped me that much because, hey, here's a guy that's willing to go in and buy fucking maxi pads for me, which is not a fucking big deal at all. And I made $37, and it's all because of Ciara.
Fucking bitch.
She's not a bitch. She's awesome.
No, she's a bitch.
She's a hero.
I don't like when anyone saves you money.
Makes me money.
Well, the same thing.
Make money, money, make money, money, money.
Calm down, dude.
Yeah, and she fucking... A $20 tip on top of the 11 that she was already tipping.
No, that's nice of her.
Yeah.
No, that
Ciara
is
my
a hero. It's finally someone looking out for the small guy like you.
I am the definition of the small guy.
You're the small guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the little entrepreneur.
One day you're going to be the big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already... When you grow up, dude, you've got this.
So,
do you ever think about how you're going to kill yourself when you turn 60?
I'm not going to kill myself.
Really?
Fuck no.
I could not imagine being 60. That has to be the most depressing thing in the world.
Dude, when you were 21, you couldn't imagine being 40.
Nah, I feel like at 21, the 40, the 30 to 40-year-old age, people look forward to that because you had this vision in your head that you're going to, have it all together and have a lot of money or something. But no one looked forward to 60. I guess the people looking forward to retiring, but you can't afford to do that. So
No, but, I'm only 2 years away from being able to get some Social Security
money. I know,
money.
but you're not going to.
Yes, I am.
Why?
Because
You're going to take it that early?
I was advised by somebody, you get an increase every year.
Yeah, but not a big one. And don't you get more if you wait?
But I still plan on working.
Oh, okay.
So why not get the $2,400 a month? I'll get $2,200 a month.
Yeah.
And then I work 30 hours a week. And I make more than I'm making now. And every year you get an increase. Everybody says, oh, no, wait till you're 67. Then you get the most. Well, then you're closer to dying. And you're going to get an extra $400 a month. But I could be getting that the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And just working. I'm going to continue to work.
True.
So take it now.
I guess. I know my dad took it a little bit early because he did the math on it. And his math was that he was just not going to live long enough to make it worth him because he just plans on dying every other day.
Yeah, well, see, I don't plan on dying.
Yeah.
And you know what? You and I have been friends now 13 years.
Yeah.
I'm the same fucking guy. I'm just going to be 60. I'm still fucking. I have great friends, great kids.
For everybody, 60-year-olds are supposed to have great friends and kids. I mean, but you're still old.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, but I've come to grips with that years ago.
Yeah,
I'm older, but the whole point is, it's like our friend Tom
yeah,
who's financially planned out his whole life.
Yeah, he's very good with his money.
He's the one that told me, you take it the minute you're able to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's never going to be in the position where he's going to be living off Social Security.
Right, and I'm not either because I'm going to be working the whole time too.
Yeah. But
the whole point is that when I take it, I can go from 40 hours a week to 20 and still make more than I'm making now.
When do you plan on retiring?
When Nate's out of high school.
It's only like 8 years from now.
He's going into 7. It's 6 years.
You're going to retire in 6 years? It's
well, no, but that's when I would even think about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's when I would even consider it.
Yeah.
He will be out of high school before I even consider it. Probably college.
Yeah.
So probably 10 more years. I'll probably work 10 more years.
You're going to work till you're 69, dude.
I still can. I don't wake up in pain every fucking day, and I'm not an old man that I can't get up. I don't want to do anything. But the whole point is, it's like, government says, okay, we're going to give you $2,200 and then you can work and make the difference. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Be stupid not to.
Yeah, no, take the money.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not in a fucking wheelchair.
Plus, you just never know when this Social Security is going to bite it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You never know when that's all of a sudden go, never mind. That's
like, I don't ever, I see my children as not going to get it. That's
same here. Yeah, like I'm wondering.
But I know that I'll get it until I die.
I don't know if I'll get it. You know what I mean?
You'll still get it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you will.
I'm 20 years away.
Yeah. It's touch and go, but I know I'll get it.
It's touch and go.
Well, you never know what these fuckers are going to do.
But that's crazy that we have to talk like that. It's a Social Security. It's
but the whole point is, like I said, it was advised to me, and after Tom told me about it, I started researching it, and like the experts say, get it whenever you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the only difference is if you wait, you might not have to. You probably wouldn't have to work anymore on top of it. Well,
yeah.
My kids are here. I'm not going to be a world traveler. I don't have a wife that wants to go to Europe and shit. I'm going to get it now.
Yeah,
and keep working.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal.
Yeah, well, I get it. It's just funny to think that you're almost 60. I mean, whew.
Dude, believe me, it hasn't set in.
That's why I'm going to continue having these tryouts for co-hosts because I 60 is just tough.
I thought we agreed on 65.
Is that it?
Yeah, we agreed on 65.
I can't remember.
It's funny because when I was growing up, the retirement age was 65.
Yeah.
There was no, I'm going to retire early.
No,
everybody retired at 65.
Yeah.
That's when you got your Social Security. That's when you got your fucking benefit, your health benefits. 65. I'm only 3 years away. Now people are going, I'm retired 48. I'm retired 79, whatever.
Well, the 48s are the people that made a lot of money.
Yeah.
They can afford to retire and don't really give a shit about the Social Security because
plus now there's no such thing as really pensions anymore.
No.
Every company offers you a 401k, but no one's going to say, okay, you work for us for 25 years and we're going to pay you this much every day or every month for the rest of your life.
My dad gets a pension from one of the factories he worked at, and he didn't even work there that long. I think it was like 4 or 5 years, and he still gets a...
Really?
I don't know the exact numbers, but it could have been that fucking long.
Yeah, but back in the day, like if you worked for Ford for 25 years, man, you got $4,000 a month.
Well, yeah, but that's 25 years. I get that. I'm saying my dad did not work for 25 years at any particular factory. He worked at a couple different ones. LeBlanc, one of them. But there was no way because he was out of them by the time I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So there was no way he did it for that fucking long.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But like I said, pensions really don't exist much anymore.
Oh, no. That was back when unions actually had power and shit like that. Now that's just all going down the drain.
Okay, everybody gets a 401k. And I'll have some 401k money when I retire.
Yeah.
And the $2,200 a month. But like I said, I don't plan on
You've never withdrew yours?
I've withdrew some.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Well, because now I can whenever I want to because I'm 59 and a half.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You take it out without penalties, whatever. You take out whatever you need.
Look at you with 401k access.
Yeah, total access.
That's nice.
But it's like when we did the crossover, I took a lot of it out and paid bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton in there right now. But in another 10 years, it'll be a nice
when you
little
transitioned,
chunk.
That's what you...
Well, when I quit working, there'll be a nice little chunk in there. I'll get my fucking Social Security every month. I'll be good.
I think you're going to be on food stamps and going to die poor.
But I'm not going to be a world traveler, but I don't ever want to be.
Well, you would.
No.
Why wouldn't you?
Because my kids are here.
Yeah, but you bring your kids. If you had money, you just bring your kids to be a world traveler.
My kids will be grown and married and all that stuff by then.
You got a lot of hopes. Married?
Well, my oldest son will.
Yeah, he's pretty much already married. So.
Yeah, pretty much. He's moving to Columbus, but yeah, he's almost married, and my other kids will be doing their own thing. And
you didn't tell him, did you?
What?
That Columbus without the rivers have less whores.
He's going with his girlfriend.
I know, but you still need the options, right? You
know what?
What?
I have scoured, and you know me. I'm not the type. I've told you, I don't pay for sex.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
But you've been looking for a hooker.
A midget.
Oh, a midget hooker.
They don't exist. You can get short ones. Yeah. You can get little ones, but I want the medical one. I want the one who's...
Let me see your papers.
I want the papers that say you have nocogenital dwarfism or whatever the dwarfism is.
Do they get technically? Is there papers?
They get diagnosed.
Yes. Is it on their license?
I wouldn't say it's on the license. You really need it to be a little...
Must have booster seat.
3-foot person fucking hands you a license.
Yeah.
Hey, this doesn't say you're a midget. You know, the whole point is...
You're not a licensed midget.
Somewhere in... I Googled midget hookers, midget escorts, Cincinnati. None came up. But suddenly on my Facebook feed, I'm getting video of midgets.
Oh my God. You know what is in my algorithm?
Midgets.
Or was for... I have 3 different Instagrams, right? I have my personal one, the one for this podcast, and I have my selling cars one, right?
Okay.
And each one of them have a different algorithm, which is hilarious because it's all me. But for whatever reason, my personal one is mostly drum videos. It's almost all drum videos. My work one is like bitches and animals getting, or not work one, my this one, the podcast one. It'd be like, hot girls and
stuff to talk about
and the ones with animals eating people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the other one, the third one, for whatever reason, is giving me Down syndrome hot chicks and midget hot chicks. I have no fucking clue. I think it's because I sent you one video of one.
Of the hot one?
Yeah.
Turns out that one is AI. They took a hot girl and put a Down syndrome girl's face on it.
Maybe that's what they all are.
Yes, that's what they all are.
I was trying to figure it out because I'm like, how is there this many Downsy girls that are this hot? Like, what is going on here?
There was a big thing on it about how all these fucking AI guys are taking these girls with Down syndrome and putting it like on a hot chick with little booty shorts.
Yes,
horrible people.
Horrible people.
And they're walking down the street. There's a whole new thing of reels going around with these 3 dudes. There's a white dude, a black dude, and a Hispanic dude.
Yeah.
And when the video comes on, it says, "Would you?" And it shows like a girl that's not normal. Mm-hmm. And every one of them will say yes or no, they would do her. Mm-hmm. So lately, it's been hot chicks with the Down syndrome face.
Oh, my God. All right.
Well, and they're all going like this. Asshole of the week.
All right. My asshole of the week is whoever's making those AI videos because they fucking tricked me. And now I'm pissed because I was literally thinking there's this many hot Downsy girls and some of them are Downsy midgets. And you're just like, what is going on here? Am I the weirdo for liking this?
Yeah,
and it's not even that I liked it. I was just intrigued. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was just, what the fuck? This doesn't exist. So I think I sent one to you. I sent one to, I think, Ryan or something like that. And now that just dominates my algorithm on a page that I don't really use that much. So that's probably why.
Well, I have no doubt that there's some women with Down syndrome that have probably nice figures.
No, I'm sure there are. I'm not saying you can't be attractive.
But these are girls
with
like fucking bikinis getting out of the pool and stuff like that.
They're like supermodel Downsies.
There's a fucking group of AI dudes doing that.
Yeah, okay. You fucking assholes. All right, you got an asshole.
You fucking fell for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Line and fucking
for
sinker.
Sure. I mean, let's be real. I'm not really like checking out for the AI because there's some certain things with AI that usually will set it off. They'll have like a 6 toe or some weird shit, or like something in the background will be weird. Like there's this video going around of a bird making a nest inside of an elephant's butt. And I see that constantly on my feed or whatever. And then you look at it real closely and it's AI. The tail's moving weird.
Yeah,
and like, you know what I mean? So I didn't catch it, but I wasn't.
Like the alligator one.
Yeah, I wasn't really diving in. I was just like, send, shit like that. So
there's an alligator one going around right now where there's this huge monstrous fucking alligator. Mm-hmm. He's got his mouth open and there's a fucking dog sitting way back in his throat with just a head sticking out.
Yeah, there's all sorts of shit.
And the other
like
dog
that
comes out to rescue it and reaches in to grab it and the mouth closes and he got them both.
Yeah, there's the ones with like kids in the monkey museum or the monkey exhibits and shit, and just making friends with the lion and petting it, but it's just super fake. And and I fell for it. So fuck them for making it.
All right, well, I've got one. My asshole of the week, and I'm going to say it out loud, is Jiffy Lube.
Oh, no, not Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube.
Motherfuckers.
Get this shit. This is a fucking big deal. Now, if you go to Valvoline, which is normally where I go, but they're like $30 more than anybody else, they do everything top to bottom.
Yep.
Top to fucking bottom. I'm sorry, wait, not Jiffy Lube, Take 5.
I've never been to Take 5.
They're like $40 cheap.
Are they called Take 5? Isn't Take 5 a candy bar?
No, it is. But it's also a lube place. So I go into Take 5. Plus they text me a coupon. So instead of $85 now, I'm paying $55. And I'm going, cool. I go in there. I get it done. I leave. Everything is happy. Wrong camera. Everything. I'm happy. My little
pointless.
My little thing
so
comes
pointless.
on and says, your oil life is 100% again. I'm like, cool. I go down and I was getting something done to my car. I was looking at I need a whatever kind of fuel injector cleaning, whatever, blah blah blah. Guy goes, man, you could also use a little bit of brake fluid and a little bit of transmission fluid. I said, no, I just had that done. He goes, no, they're both really low. I'm like, I just had it done. So I called Take 5, and I said, hey, you guys forgot to put transmission fluid and brake fluid in my car. Oh, we don't do that. We just do oil.
Oh, really? Some of them don't do those, but they'll do like windshield wiper fluid at least.
They did that, but they didn't do transmission fluid or brake fluid. You go to Valvoline, you get everything, top to bottom.
Okay.
Plus, they fill your tires up. Take 5 didn't fill my tires.
No.
All they did was oil and a filter.
Was it the same price as Valvoline?
No, it was $30 cheaper.
Well, that's why, motherfucker.
But the whole point is, no, Valvoline's overpriced.
No, because they give you a little bit more.
But when they say complete oil change, you're thinking I'm getting everything top to bottom. Jiffy Lube gives you top to bottom. Valvoline gives you top to bottom.
I think I'm
going
to
Take 5 did? Drained my fucking oil, put a new filter on, and filled it with oil. Nothing else.
They gave you an oil change, a complete oil change.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Everybody else is doing it the other way. That's like if you walk into a fucking restaurant right now. And
they're charging $80.
That's like if you walk into a fucking restaurant right now and you sit down with your wife and your kids to have a fucking meal and you look at your bill at the end and they charge you for the fucking bread at the beginning. Nobody charges for the bread. Bread's free.
Bread's free at the nice places.
At most places.
Nah, just the nice places.
You go to fucking Olive Garden, which isn't a really nice place, and you get all the fucking breadsticks you can fucking eat.
It's white trash nice. That's that's what I mean. Like, it's starting at white trash nice. Or,
when I'm there, I'm
just
family.
Poor nice, I should say.
I'm family when I'm there.
Yeah, poor. Yeah, you are family when you're there. But poor nice, it starts at like your O'Charlie's and your Outbacks, and
those are free,
and the bread's free, exactly. But you go to the cheap places. McDonald's.
They don't even have bread.
Exactly. Take 5 don't have bread. And that's why you're paying McDonald's prices instead of fucking O'Charlie's prices.
They might have used a fucking shroud of complete oil changes, but I was very disappointed. And I'll tell you what, I'll never go back there.
That's fine.
You guys are assholes.
No, and I get you. I don't think those are deal breakers for me if I'm saving $30 though.
Shouldn't they have at least have said,
we don't do all the other stuff everybody else does?
Your brake fluid is low. Your transmission fluid is low.
They don't check.
At least charge.
Well, that's their problem. That's
an extra
bad.
$10. We'll charge everything.
That's bad customer service because they could have upcharged you.
So now I had to, because I was at a place that wasn't a Valvoline or something that doesn't buy all their fluids in a fucking 55-gallon drum. I had to buy a whole fucking bottle, jug of transmission fluid and the bottle of brake fluid for a few drops. You know what I'm saying? Now they're in the trunk of my car.
Well, now you're ready. Now you
Take 5. Take this dick.
But think about this. Now you can go to Take 5 the next 3 times and save another $30 each time. That's $90 because you already got the other shit.
That's a way to look at it, but that's more of an optimistic way to look at it, and I choose not to.
I'm the most optimistic person you know.
Are you?
I don't know. Jason Pollard don't think I am.
The whole point is he befriended you.
He befriended me because I'm too negative.
Oh, God. The whole point is I believe that I was deceived.
Yeah.
And if I'm deceived, you're an asshole.
I don't disagree.
Of the week.
I don't know. I was deceived. I thought these fucking, big four-headed bitches were hot and real.
Imagine how bad you felt when you were done masturbating to them?
I didn't masturbate
when you realized this isn't real. Now that's a question. Here's my next question.
Can you?
Could you masturbate to a hot girl with Down syndrome if she was playing with herself? Because I guarantee you.
I feel like there's no
Correct
way,
answer.
There's no way that I could prove that you're not taking advantage of her disability somehow. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's no way that I could prove that, just because the crazy guy down the street is jerking off in the middle of the street. I mean, I don't think he's doing it to be sexy.
And the whole point is, but even if let's say there was a smoking hot girl with Down syndrome getting out of a pool and doing the Phoebe Cates Ridgemont High thing, she has Down syndrome. You're taking advantage of her mental capacity to fucking exploit her on the fucking internet.
I think, yeah, but you're not positive is the thing. It's actually really...
You were positive because you started sending them out. Hey, hot girl with Downs.
I really sent it to you because if I remember right, she was a midget.
A hot midget girl with Downs.
Yes, there was it knocked off all the boxes. I think that's why I sent it to you.
My box has never included Down syndrome. My box is a small box. It's a midget box. It is never included. Man, here's my bucket list.
Why?
Midget.
You think they're lesser people?
Amputee, Down syndrome.
You think they're lesser people?
No, but they don't have... no.
That's what you just said.
They're not less... No, they're not. But
you're like, I would never fuck a Downsy.
Never.
Why?
Because you're taking advantage of their
Maybe they're
mental
really in love with
capacity.
you. They're not...
Dude.
Completely not there, right?
I am... Okay, I'm sexually open-minded. I'm not a deviant.
Has that deviation?
Yes,
why?
that's the definition.
Why?
Okay, if you look
That's
up sexual
rude.
deviant, probably the third list down would be somebody who wants to have sex with a mentally handicapped person.
Why? They didn't choose to be mentally handicapped. It'd be like not having sex with an Indian.
I would do an amputee because they could say, hey, I lost this stub in a car wreck or whatever. Have at it.
I want a natural. It's like tits, you don't want the person that fucking lost their leg in an accident. You want the person born without the leg.
What would you do if you're a single man? You go to a bar and this hot chick is hitting on you. Hot chick, because this is a possibility.
No, a hot chick hitting on me is probably not a possibility at this point in my life.
She likes sense of humor, guys. So you go back to her house and, you're making out and everything and she's playing with your dick and you're getting ready to go on. You take her shirt off and there's one boob. One big boob in the middle. There's not two boobs. There's only one, but it's a perfect boob.
Just a perfect uniboob.
Perfect size areola. The nipple's perfect. It's happy. It's talking to you. Hey, come play with me. Would you stay there or would you get too freaked out?
I'm definitely staying.
You wouldn't get freaked out if there's a chick with one boob.
Freaked out, but at the end, I think I'm fucking someone from Mars or something. Like there's, it's, I don't know.
Would you rather
take
a girl's shirt off and see one perfect boob? Or three boobs?
I think I'd rather have three boobs than one boob, right? More boobs, the better. Isn't that just a general rule of thumb?
I don't know. I mean, if I took a girl's shirt off...
If you could go one boob or three boobs, I think I'd go three. You would go one?
If it was a perfect boob. But
what are three for sloppy tits? Is it one perfect or three sloppies?
Here's the thing.
Because it is all based on the
when
boob.
You were single, because here's the problem for me.
Yeah.
And most men, and they'll deny it. They'll say, oh, no, it makes no sense at all. With a girl, and you're playing with a titty, sucking on a titty, at some point, it pops into your head, I've got to give the other one some attention.
Yeah.
And you switch over.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, maybe I'm not satisfying her enough because I'm staying on one boob.
Yeah.
So you go to the other boob.
You got to go to the other tit.
Even though it's the same,
Yeah.
feel the same to you.
Well, it's the same as you're giving a girl a foot massage. You don't just do the same foot over and over again.
But the
Eventually
whole
you have
point
to switch.
She only had one boob.
Yeah.
You can just focus all your energies on that one titty.
There's no titty jealousy. Or three of them.
Doing a lot of this.
Yeah.
Tuned in Tokyo a little bit. Sucking on it.
Speed bag.
Only bad news is you couldn't fuck it.
You couldn't.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to squeeze from the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because there's always something in the back of a man's head.
And if you got three tits, you could fuck two of them while you played with the other one. You know, that's cool.
And let's say you're head on a woman right here.
Mm-hmm.
You're head on. Boobs are out. You know it's time to suck on one of them. Which one are you picking?
Middle?
No, there's only two. A normal girl.
Oh, what?
Which titty do you go for first? I
think I'm right.
always go after the one on my left, which is her right titty.
Yeah, I think I'm always a right titty.
That way, because I feel like I'm not cheating her. I'm sucking on this titty, and I'm playing with the other one.
Well, yeah, but you could
With
do
my
that.
dominant hand.
You could do that.
Yeah, but it's my dominant hand.
Oh, big
Because it's not getting the same sensations as because
the
you're not
other one
sucking
don't-
on
the other one don't
it.
move
So you
as
got to
well.
have the good hand to manipulate.
You're a
nipple.
thinker, dude.
Oh, I'm a total thinker.
But now I'm going back to the 3 tits. 3 tits would be cool because you could mash in on one of them, suck on that one, and smash your own head with titties. That's just kind of cool.
What I do sometimes,
They could be the like these things, but titties, and just.
what I do sometimes, I take both titties, push them to the middle.
I've done the
do
yeah,
that.
yeah. The
Yeah.
titty smash is good.
Generally, it's not their favorite thing.
Who cares?
Okay, it's not their favorite thing.
Well,
But
because you're giving them a mammogram.
that's why I'm saying I think that it would be a real benefit to only have one tit there.
I don't know. man.
Because I don't titty fuck.
No.
I get nothing out of that.
No, why would you?
Yeah, nobody does.
I mean, it's a fun thing to do as a 20-year-old.
That's why, ironically, I'm not a crazy guy for anal. I don't think anal feels as good.
I think that's everyone's
yeah.
pretty much position. It's not, it's a
But the
dominant
only
factor.
thing is, yeah, because I like to see you walk by and go, ha, I was in your ass.
Yeah,
But
you're just weird.
it just doesn't feel as good.
Well, it's not meant to.
Yeah.
It don't make babies. All right, that's the reason why the front feels good. Is because
The whole point is,
it's all God's plan, son. But let's get back to this Pope. This is God's plan. They made the vagina feel super good, and the penis, if it goes
And
into the
doesn't it,
vagina,
though?
it feels good.
And
And
doesn't
then
it,
you
though?
have more babies, more God's children.
Yeah,
See,
but
perfect.
but some religions say you're not supposed to do it for pleasure.
Yeah, but those are douchey.
Yeah. The Mormons.
The Mormons, no, they just get all sorts of wives.
Yeah, but they're saying that sex is for procreation only, not pleasure.
That's the trick, though. They found the work between, and that's to get 14 wives. Now you can literally just be fucking to procreate the whole time. There's 14 different girls to get pregnant.
I think there should be a national vagina day, not a month, a vagina day.
What do you do?
It's just such a gift.
You got to buy it douche?
Huh? No, you just say, every girl that walks by, hail. You know?
You fucking
have
seat
one.
aisle?
No, you don't. Not a seat aisle like
Nice pussy!
like a Julius Caesar. Hail.
Oh,
You know, this. Just because you have one.
Yeah.
And you're lucky and you're blessed that you possess one of those gifts from God.
yeah, but then you'd have some fucking weirdo getting all mad and doing protests. When's Dick Day? I want Dick Day! You know,
But see,
and
the women would refuse to go by and hail you.
they hound that
Just
dick.
for ego purposes. They're not hailing you unless they knew
Yeah.
that you were Nick the Dick from Bachelor Party and could fill a hot dog bun that was a foot long. Then they might hail you.
Nick the Dick from Bachelor Party. Is this a porn?
Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. You never saw that movie?
Dude, I'm not from the
One of the
80s.
best movies ever, dude. They were having his bachelor party and they went to where the women were having their bachelorette party at a Chippendale show, and they wanted to play a joke on the women, so they got one of the waiters who was named Nick the Dick, and they pulled out a foot-long hot dog bun. He stuck his cock in the hot dog bun. He took the tray out, and here you go, ladies.
Showed
Here's
his
your order.
wiener?
No, it didn't show the wiener. It
Oh,
just
I was
showed the
gonna
bun.
say.
So then the old lady, the mother of the bride, grabbed the dick. She was like, but it was Nick the Dick, and it was a fucking real treasure.
A real treasure.
But they would. I'm just saying. To sum up the conversation, National Vagina Day is on the ballot for me, and one boob. I choose one boob.
I'm going 3 boobs. That's fine. National Vagina Day is fine with me. I have no problem.
Free day off.
Yeah, I was like, do I get off? Do I get holiday pay?
But see, it's like, let's say you go into work on that, and let's say there's a young lady that works at your office who sits there and answers the phone all day. You just walk by, hail. Just
Well,
give her a
and
quick-
women really don't have a day. They get Mother's Day.
They get a month. March.
That ain't real. No one cares about that. They just talk about that to each other. I'm saying a day that we recognize. Like, Mother's Day, everybody's good, but you got to be a mother. You know
All
what I
weekend
mean?
is Father's Day.
Well, yeah, exactly. But guys, we're not crazy. We don't need days.
Yeah, we don't need days.
Hold
on a second.
I don't like holidays.
Women also get Sweetest Day, a Hallmark made-up holiday where they get gifts
Well, that's-
and expect gifts.
That's supposed to be both ways.
Oh, I never got a gift on Sweetest Day, but I felt the need to buy them.
Me too. I think I've got some gifts back when Carmen used to make some money. I used to get some gifts, but
I may have back in the day, but the whole point is it was invented for women.
Yeah, probably
Because you don't generally give gifts. You give a big bouquet of roses or whatever.
But wasn't just invented maybe to get pussy?
I think it was invented
Because
for these
usually that
fucking
goes-
companies to make a ton of money off
Yeah,
that
but
day.
it's usually also a day where people that maybe not get pussy all the time get pussy that day.
No, because on Sweetest Day you're supposed to have someone already.
Well, no, I get that, but maybe they're not, the married, the people that just don't fuck all that often, and that's the day.
Do you think it'd be a good fucking angle to go to a bar on Sweetest Day, see the girls that were alone, and just walk up and buy them a drink, say Happy Sweetest Day?
100%.
Happy Sweetest Day.
Yes.
Next thing you know, you're fucking.
Valentine's Day is the same way. When you go to one of those stupid, because the girls, all the single girls get together usually on Galentine's is what they call it. That's where all the fat chicks do. They're in their Galentine's Day where they get together with all their girlfriends and go
That's
out.
like Friendsgiving.
Yeah, it's stupid shit like that.
Yeah, so stupid.
But those girls are probably the target though. But the problem is now you got to combat all their catty friends. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be hard to just get one when there's 5 other fucking fat chicks that are like, ugh, he's such a dick. You know? So.
I don't know. I just... relationships these days are way too complicated for me. Yeah. That's why I want no part of it.
Well, you're in that relationship with Bud Eater.
I want meaningless sex.
As we pointed
I
out,
heard you guys talk about that. I'm in love
you
with
guys
her.
Are
Nothing could be further from the truth.
You're made for each other.
She's a cool chick and a good friend who happens to eat butt and enjoy getting her butt eaten. We have never been on a date ever.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to. You know each other.
Well, yeah, but I don't want a date. She doesn't either.
Maybe she wants a date.
She never asked me for a date.
Why would she ask you? You're supposed to ask, you asshole.
Not in 2025, you're not.
You should do it just for the response.
And if you say that, that makes you a sexist.
I am a sexist, though.
Well, that makes you one.
Well, that's fine.
Because women are supposed to be completely equal. All right, you want a date? You ask me out.
Yeah, well, you are what you eat.
It's like Sadie Hawkins.
I don't know what that means. You are what you eat.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Fuck you! Hey guys, anybody want to come on the show? We record usually at noon on Wednesdays, sometimes earlier, and you probably won't come to that one because that's early.
Well, but we're always looking for added entertainment. Now, today, it was a very nice surprise when I came in, and I'm in the jungle.
Yeah, we got plants today. We just decided to get a little more oxygen in the studio.
And
you know
I'm breathing much easier.
I got plants. I got some other plants over there.
And from the segment when I was doing a little 5-minute deal and you saw Jason, you can see obviously he's breathing better.
Well, oh shit. Would you stick your tongue in one of these?
It's a cactus, dude.
No. It's a Venus flytrap.
Oh, yeah, that little thing couldn't hurt me.
Yeah, you would? You'd stick your tongue in there? What's it do? I mean, it kills bugs. How's it kill the bugs?
It suffocates them, literally. It doesn't squish them. It just closes so they can't get out, and they sit in there and die.
What a cool plant.
They either have heart attacks or they just...
That one also eats bugs. I got 2 bug eaters. I was very excited about that. Works. I don't think you're supposed to touch it.
But you got to be small.
Yeah, you got to be a bug.
You got to fit all the way in. But it's got those little eyelashes on it, like a jail cell. So when it closes, that little eyelashes come down, and the flies and bugs are just trapped.
I can't wait to kill a bug and or get a live bug and throw it in there. I'm going to start catching wasp.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants?
No, I hate those kind of people.
All right, I've got a fuck you. And, the thing about it is, it's not, I don't really mean to be offensive with this because it's not that bad of a deal. But fuck you, Jeremy Conrad. And I'll tell you why.
You fat bastard.
Jeremy's a friend.
Yeah, sure.
Cool dude. And I'm not really ragging this.
Come on. Calm down. Cool dude.
Funny dude to talk to.
I like Jeremy.
I like Jeremy.
Not cool. Jeremy's not cool. He's a
the definition of not
dork.
Cool. Yeah.
But, he has a ponytail. Or he used to.
He took a vacation day today. Now, before I shit on him, I want you to understand.
What is today?
This isn't that big of a deal.
Of course not.
But just the way that it was posed to me. Like, me and you and 10 of our buddies go get fucked up and play poker and shit. Well, he took a day off to go to game night. And it's board game night. And whether it could be fun if you're sitting around drinking and having a good time. But the people he mentioned that are going to be at game night, I guarantee none of them are drinking.
So he's not a drinker.
But the whole point is, if you're getting together with friends, I don't want to sit here and play Monopoly with you, at least if we're not getting fucked up.
You're not a dork.
Is that what it is?
Yes, they're dorks, dude. That's what dorks do.
I mean, the whole point is that fuck you for taking a day off to go to game night. And it's not that game night couldn't be fun, but if I was sitting there playing fucking Parcheesi or fucking Trivial Pursuit, I got a bottle of Jaeger next to me and a 12-pack of beer, and I'm calling you a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you because you don't know who the fucking governor of Mississippi was in 1957. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm going, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I had another shot. He just took a day off to go to game night to play like Parcheesi and Stratega. I think, fuck you.
Young Jeremy's still in pursuit of some pussy. And I got a feeling that's probably more what it is. If you
it's my understanding that there's no pussy going to be there.
I got a feeling.
Except the one woman the name I heard, the one woman is married to another guy's going to be there.
Well, that's a good chance you're not
so
going to
get So you're going to a sausage fest to play Parcheesi.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
He goes, well, normally these other two girls that he mentioned always come, but they're not coming this time. So you don't go this time.
Well, then, yeah, you cancel your day off.
Right. That's my whole point. My whole point is game night would be cool if there's an ulterior motive of maybe getting pussy.
Yeah, no.
Getting fucked up and getting pussy.
Well, just put yourself out there.
You're going there with like 5 guys and one girl who's married to the host. Mm-hmm. And there's no chance of pussy.
No.
And there's no drinking or partying going on there at all.
But he's not a partier. That's not his thing.
Okay. Then have the other ulterior motive of pussy.
I think that was the ulterior motive, but it fell through apparently.
It didn't fall through. They didn't plan on going to this one.
Oh, I don't know.
They're going to the next one that he won't be at.
And he's unachievable. They're probably unachievable anyways.
Yeah.
So
they're 100% unachievable. The 2 girls he mentioned, he has no chance
but that's young Jeremy's problem.
But
I'm going to give you advice there, young Jeremy. You gotta range, all right? You know, when you're taking pitches, you gotta aim for. Everybody has a different strike zone. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And a lot of these girls you're taking, you're never gonna hit that pitch, buddy. You gotta get towards your strike zone.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's all right.
Mean, and even if, like, let's say, I mean, if you're meeting with a group of friends is always fun.
Yeah.
When there's you're partying involved.
Yeah.
You know, we don't go anywhere where there's not something going on. I mean, hey, we'll go to a comedy club. I'm getting fucked up.
Listen, dude, if you tell me we're having game night and we're drinking, I'm still telling you to go fuck yourself.
Right.
Like game
right.
night.
So, Jeremy, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean,
you playing Yahtzee, you queer?
And the thing about it is the people he mentioned, I like them.
Yeah, cool whatever, people. Cool.
Yeah, but not cool people. I say cool in a different way than you mean.
Yeah.
But the whole point is...
They're fine.
There's no drinking. You have no chance of getting laid. What are you doing?
Are you sure there's not other means of debauchery, like some kind of
Jeremy doesn't smoke.
Edibles or something like that?
The people he mentioned, I would say 100% no.
I mean, he don't have to smoke because, like I said,
now the 2 that aren't going,
yeah,
I would say 100% yes. Partiers,
okay.
Partiers,
yeah.
The 2 women that normally go.
I already, just from the way you're describing this, I already know everyone involved, and yeah, bad move.
Yeah, so isn't that worth the fuck you?
Yeah, fuck you, Jeremy.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
Idiot.
All right, give me yours.
I hope you get laid soon, though. Fuck you to the Bengals, man. The way they've handled this Tre Hendrickson thing is absolutely retarded. We should have just traded him. If you're not going to pay the guy the money, you should have just traded him. Got some kind of pick out of it. Something. Because at the moment, we're probably going to get nothing. I got a feeling this guy's going to sit out. Like, I just, either that or the Bengals are going to pay him a 1-year deal and pay him way too much, which is fine for a 1-year deal. But either way, now you're setting this up. You either do it now or you still get rid of him now. Don't let it linger into the season like you did last year. And then it fucked everything up last year with everybody focusing on Jamar Chase and blah, blah, blah. You're a sports guy. Yeah.
So I'll ask you this honestly. We're both diehard Bengal fans.
Yes.
Sack leader. Last 2 years, 17 and a half sacks. Huge numbers.
Yeah.
Not a lot of tackles on the interior.
That's not his job.
And you're pushing 31 years old. From my understanding, the Bengals are offering in the $25, $26 million era, and he wants over 30. He wants in the 30s. Yeah. My whole point is a man that really has one function. Now, I'm sorry, but Myles Garrett does stuff besides sacks. He has interior tackle.
But outside of that,
that's who's getting the big money.
Well, no.
My question is he like, a Myles Garrett?
There's 4 guys getting big money.
Well, yeah, and one of them shouldn't have been. But
well, but either way, I know.
The whole point is a almost 31-year-old guy worth that extra $3 million.
Yes, this year, I would say.
But he wants a multi-year deal. No, that's the whole point. He does. He wants a 3-year deal.
He does, but I guarantee if you put $34 million in front of him this year, and which is already just up in his contract, Leonard, $10 million or something like that, they have the room for it. They have the room. They're not going out and spending on anything else right now. It's not like we're going out and getting anybody else. So you may as well at least try to get him. Offer him the $34 million 1 year. You play your ass off, have fun, go wherever. We got the people we want to take back over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you throw that money out this year. And did he earn it? Yes, he did earn it. All right, he did earn it because the people that are comparable to him in stats Myles Garrett, like you said, is a freak, and he impacts the game so many different ways. And so does TJ Watt to a certain extent.
But they play the exact same position.
But they play the same position. I mean, and Daniel Hunter and Max Crosby are
Bosa.
more, and Bosa. Well, Bosa's kind of washed
Watt.
at this point. Well, I said Watt. You got, in my opinion, as far as these defensive ends are concerned right now, and Hutchinson will be there as soon as he's up for contracts.
He's a monster.
Yeah, because he probably is maybe the best outside of Garrett right now.
Agreed.
But anyways, Watt and Garrett are here because they can do so much. You know what I mean? It's not just the one thing. I would put Hendrickson in the same level though as your next tier, which you're still making over $30 million. Your Daniel Hunter, your Max Crosby. I would rather have Hendrickson than Max Crosby. I would rather have Hunter because Hunter's younger. But I mean, again, if we're just
Max Crosby's younger.
Yeah, but if we're just talking about 1 year, but he puts up better numbers than Max Crosby.
But see, that's my whole argument, and I am not on the Bengals side on this. I think they fucked it up just like you, and I'll give him a fuck you. But my whole point is, he is standing pat with, I want a 3-year, multi-year deal.
He is, and he's not going to get that from the Bengals,
Right.
but I think he would play under the lower contract. You know what I mean? Or not the lower contract, but the 1-year deal worth that money. If you paid him
1-year deal, he'd play.
If you put him in the top 3 and pay for that 1 year, he would play, and and then good luck next year getting a good contract. He's just too old. I mean, I get that.
That's my whole
I'm not
point.
extending him 3 years. I may give him. I may offer the guy a 2-year, $68 million contract, somewhere around there, because next year the Bengals at this moment have the 9th most cap space next year on the books. So they could afford to do it for 2 years, and 2 years makes sense. Once you get into the 3-4 year contract, he's just too fucking old, man. I love Hendrickson, but he's just too old to be promising that kind of money to.
Right.
Unless it was non-guaranteed in those back-end contracts, and those were, after the 2 years we can leave without any kind of, but he'd be stupid to sign something like that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if he comes out this year and gets 15 plus more sacks again, he'll get a 3-year deal from someone. And he might be that player that can get 15 plus sacks for the next 5 years just because of he's a motor guy.
See, that's
he's
my whole
not
point.
an athleticism
I disagree
guy.
with that.
I don't know.
I think if he
might.
plays a 1-year deal here, all he's going to get offered from this point is good 1-year deals. And he should be fine with that if he's getting his $34 million a year.
Imagine how many more sacks that guy would have, though, if he had anybody else on that line that flushed people out.
Agreed.
He had no defensive tackles to flush anybody out. And that's how a lot of those guys get their sacks, is the pressure up the middle puts them to the outside, and then the outside gets
And if
them.
you give him
it's
1 year, $34 million a year, and he knows in the back of his head, hey, this got to be my year. I got to prove my worth to the rest of the league. He might have 20.
My point in being when I blame the Bengals is regardless of where you come in on whether he's worth a long-term contract, if you should sign him for a 1-year thing, if you convince him to a 2-year, regardless, that should have been figured out before the draft. And then you could have, you can make your decisions after that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
They were offered a 2nd-round pick or so for him from what I read. I mean, if you're not going to give him the money he wants and he's going to hold out and he's going to cause a giant distraction, get the 2nd-round pick. Get the 3rd-round pick if you could have got it.
They're dragging their feet
because
what I mean? They're sitting there knowing they're so offense heavy right now. They're like, fuck, we got to find a way to keep this guy. Well,
and they're just in general very old school. They're very old school for a lot of things. I was reading the other day that I guess our defense, our linebacker or something was holding out on practice because the Bengals are the only team that doesn't give like some kind of insurance for when they practice or some shit like that.
For the rookie contracts.
Yeah, they're the only ones in the league that do this.
The only
they just
way
get
that
stuck
you're
in
covered,
their ways, man.
The only way you're covered is if you have a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
But let's say you fucking tear an MCL or an ACL this year. You're not protected because it's not you didn't break your legs like Joe Theismann. You know what I'm saying? So, the Bengals have got that set up. So most of these fucking rookies aren't doing much at these things.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck no, dude. If I get hurt, I've got nothing.
And they've got called out on lying quite a few times now. Whether it was Duke Tobin at the press conferences at the combine saying that he's been speaking to Hendrickson's agents. They've been in touch, and Hendrickson comes out and goes, "What the fuck, man? No one's talking to us.
Yeah.
What are they saying? You know what I mean?"
The only thing they are saying is, "Hey, if you don't show up next month, I'm going to fine you."
And he just got that message apparently the other day from
Zach Taylor.
From Taylor, and it's like that's the only communication you have with this guy is just threatening to fine him.
Yeah,
like
a guy
that's
who's
just,
given you 17.5 sacks the last 2 years.
And who's, for what it's worth, seems like a really good person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This is just a good
who
dude.
wants to play here. But see, that's the thing. I mean. Football's a business.
Yeah, no, I get that part
too. And I think the Bengals are looking at it as this man on a multi-year deal is worth $27 million.
Yeah.
He's not worth 30 to us.
Well, he wasn't worth it to when they signed him. He was also, again, he says, and I tend to believe him more than the Bengals because so far he's told more truths, it seemed like.
Yeah.
He said that when they signed him to that extension, it was with the intent of signing them to a longer term contract. You know what I mean? They were going to give him something.
And he's
and
performed.
if he performed, they were going to do that.
done
And now
that.
they haven't done it. So if they actually did say that, and they're not saying anything about it, but he said this multiple times, and for whatever reason, he has not made anything false, made any false claims. So I got to take his word on it.
Right.
I just see it as the Bengals being the Bengals, man. And you've signed the contract, play out your fucking contract, and I think that's their old school mentality. They're taking on it. And okay, but what he's going to be is a giant distraction. And it's not even going to be him. The guy's only spoke 3 times. But what it's going to be is just the nonstop questions. What are we going to do about this? It was the same thing with Jamar Chase last year. He just sat on the sideline. He didn't do anything nefarious. He was just trying to get his contract right. He was doing what any of them should have done. And it wasn't out on the sidelines causing problems like some of them do. He's not T.O. over there doing push-ups and giving speeches.
Yeah.
But either way, just him being there and just him not being signed and shit is a giant distraction that they can't afford.
Agreed.
And especially when they keep on starting off slow. And you see who their week 1 opponent is?
Buffalo
in Buffalo. All right. No starting out slow this year, guys. So they need to get their shit together. Fuck you, Brown family. You still to this day just cannot get shit right. And it's so fucking annoying.
And not only that, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, we went on that one.
Oh,
that
shit.
one.
That didn't work.
Oh, dragged on a little bit.
You can kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off now. Subscribe and share. Fuck off. Fuck off.